When people ask me what kind of cancer my mother had, I know they are talking about anatomy. Want to know which organ to blame for this tragedy, as if cancer does not attack everything all at once. My mother once told me, it's rarely the cancer that kills, but often a complication. Still, I say breast. My mother had breast cancer. But realistically, her breasts were among the least of her worries. Outside of my poetry, I often do not have the energy to explain how cancer made war with every part of my mother's body, especially her brain. There may not have been tumors there, but that is where the pain lives. When people ask me what kind of cancer my mother had, I do not say the kind that makes you want to kill yourself. How it attacked her like a playground bully, relentlessly, making her hate everything about herself she used to love. I do not say it was everywhere. Whoa. When people ask me what kind of cancer my mother had, I do not say the kind that makes you want to kill yourself. How it attacked her like a playground bully, relentlessly making her hate parts of herself she used to love. I do not say it was everywhere, especially hovering in still, sanitized air. I want to talk about the poison injected into my mother's veins until she faded away. How the doctors insisted on calling it legal assisted death. The way they tiptoed around the word suicide, like my mother didn't try to bleed the cancer out into her bathtub one night. Like suicide is a word reserved only for those who actually do the killing. When people ask me what kind of cancer my mother had, I do not say suicide, even though they are really asking me what killed her. They are more concerned with knowing how to pretend to mourn, which bumper sticker to get put on the back of their car, which fight to get to claim to be an ally in. When people ask me what kind of cancer my mother had, I do not say the kind that simultaneously rips a family apart and puts it back together. The kind that has my mother and father in a car together for the first time in over a decade. The kind that is strangers, relatives, coming out of the shadows all around me saying they loved her when I'd never met them. So instead of asking where they were during the court dates and hospital stays, during those long months my mother spent trying so hard to die, I asked them how. How did my mother die? And when they say cancer, your mother, she died of breast cancer. That is how I know they were not there.
This is the awkward part of the show, where the host interrupts. Are y'all enjoying the feature so far? Yeah! So, Women of the World Poetry Slam tomorrow in Dallas, and we want them to come back and see us here in Houston. So I'm going to pass around this tip jar. I want them to talk about their merch whenever they get a chance. But if you're feeling their set, if you support their art, please throw some money in the tip jar. Back to your feet.
Woo! Yeah! Dialectical behavior therapy, aka DBT, a form of therapy designed to help people suffering from mood disorders. So inevitably, when I was 15, this borderline body got sent to group therapy. Now, I'm not saying that I enjoyed group therapy, because it was group therapy. I'm just saying it was the one place I could go every week and be myself and not want to die. These messy adolescents, just as unstable as I, every goodbye as fierce as the next, because we didn't know who would survive till next week. But on the weekends, we'd have sleepovers, just like I always dreamed. We'd never complete with games of truth or dare, and spin the bottle, odd couples, sneaking off to explore a body like their own for the first time. To have their body treated like a body for the first time. I remember being surprised as she took off my shirt. And I did not want to hide my scars, wanted her to see more of me, us, tender, broken hearts. desperate not to break any further, careful not to hurt anyone else. Because I am working on a new book. A couple things to keep your eyes out for on my website are I'm doing an anthology with, I haven't done this poem yet, but so surprise, I'm a sex worker.
Amazing.
And I'm doing an anthology of work entirely by sex workers. It's all kinds of art, not just poetry. I'm working with a publisher, and submissions are going to be announced soon. So if any of y'all in the room happen to do sex work and do art, keep your eyes out for that. And if you don't, keep your eyes out for the book that's probably going to be coming out like in a year. And then the other thing to keep an eye out for is Voices of Today. As mentioned earlier, the National Youth Poetry Slam. We're about to put out our dates for the festival and launch our fundraising page. So if any of y'all have any extra cash, that's going to be coming up soon, and we need all the help we can get because we all know how poetry goes.
Yes, we do.
Anything can be a weapon. They took away my shoelaces and headphones, so I fashioned myself a noose out of string from a homemade finger puppet. I felt awful for destroying the art someone else had carefully created. I felt worse when no one noticed the rings around my neck, lessons learned in the psych ward. I learned to associate the scent of hand sanitizer with a loss of sanity. Hard pillows reminding me I couldn't be comfortable here even if I wanted to be. I learned that we take technology for granted. No cameras because of confidentiality, no computers because communication with the outside world is limited to 2 landlines at the end of the hall and nurses listening to everything you say. I learned not to fall in love with nurses. Actually, not to fall in love with anyone in the psych ward. I learned what addiction looks like unfolding before my eyes. My roommate, awake at 3 a.m., sweating and shivering, people pound pain pills until they turn to powder, anything, they could snort anything to ease the cravings. I learned that showers are great hiding places. Whether it was smoking, fucking, or just trying to kill myself, a shower guaranteed me 5 minutes free from nurses smothering me. I learned to cherish being alone. I realized even extroverts need time to themselves, but running away